Mm-hmm.
You're using their hotspot again?
Yep.
Good. I'm glad we figured that out. I need to take those cameras back if we're not going to use them.
We figured that out.
Well, I'm glad you figured it out. We just need to take those hotspots back. I mean, the cameras back. We're not going to use them.
Right. Turn that little knob on the back of that one, will you, please? And will you turn it down just a little bit?
Less bright?
Yeah, there's a little knob back there. Just very gently.
Am I doing the right one or doing the bottom one?
Try it more.
That's all the way. So that's all the way down.
Oh, okay. It's
So
the other one. Yeah.
Oh, there we are. I just refreshed it.
Yep. I don't know, guys. Just more buffoonery.
All right, I'm gonna X out of mine since we seem to be running.
Just more buffoonery. Hello, Christy Kincaid Norris. Frozen again? It's in and out. Okay, well, we're going to try it. And okay. We're going to try it, guys.
I'm ready. Test 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Oh, welcome to a Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast. Alan hit that button so fast I wasn't expecting it. But I am Kellie Rasberry Evans. That hasn't changed. And this is my husband and partner and podcast co-host, Alan Evans.
Very trained in the house.
A lot of big doings going on. I had to run out of the house real quick. My cousins were visiting from South Carolina. And we got really confused on, she forgot to give me the flight number like she was supposed to. And that's fine. And she told me she thought she'd be landing about 6:15. And so, but she didn't send me the flight number. And so I went and had to guess. And I looked at what flights were arriving from Charlotte. And it said there was one arriving at 5 and one arriving at 7. I said, oh, well, she must. And I said, it couldn't have been the 5 o'clock. Maybe her flight's running late. It has to be the 7 o'clock. So then, this is a really great story, y'all. You're just riveted by it, I can tell.
It's going to get better, I know.
It's going to get better.
Yeah.
My roots were silver. So I was like, you know what? I've got time to dye my hair, do my roots, jump in the shower. I'll have time to put on a little makeup and, put on a little deodorant after my shower and get a decent outfit and go pick them up. So I get out the shower. I blew dry my hair. I was going to put some curlers in it. I'm butt naked and my phone dings. My cousin says, we just landed an hour earlier than I thought she was landing. And I said an expletive and I said, you never sent me your flight number. And she said they didn't fly out of Charlotte. They flew out of Charleston. And so I was looking at the wrong flight information. So I had to go up there and pick him up looking like this. So I was a little discombobulated. But as I was running out of the house, my daughter was in the front foyer with her girlfriend, McKenna, and they were wearing these really cute little dresses and cowboy boots, and they were doing TikTok videos because they were on their way. Did you see them before they left, honey? You were in the garage when I left.
I did not.
They were on their way to the Star in Frisco. Are you familiar with the Star? It's the Cowboys practice area facility, right? Mm-hmm. There's a free concert there tonight. I'm not really sure who's performing because the Academy of Country Music Awards are going to be there Thursday night.
I was wondering what in the heck was going on today because I was over at Legacy West which isn't far from the Star.
Right.
And I saw a bunch of people with boots and Western wear.
There was a concert there today at Legacy Hall, and producer Robert White Cheddar Airman.
Stop talking.
He was going to that. It was in the middle of the day. A bunch of up and coming artists were doing a concert at Legacy Hall.
Up and comers?
Right there at Legacy West.
Huh. I saw some brush poppers. I saw some Wranglers with the skull ring in the back.
It's a lot of big doings going on in town. Now, last year, our wonderful listener, podcast family member, Tara, invited me to go. And this year, I did not get invited to go. I don't know. I was really happy to go last year. I'm glad I got to see it. But,
Tara, what's up?
Well, I mean, maybe she didn't go this year. Or maybe she had like extra tickets from her office that somebody couldn't use.
Oh, I know.
I'm not mad at all.
Are you?
Seeing it once is a gracious plenty for me. I'm not somebody that, I have lived a very, very blessed life. I've gotten to go to the American Music Awards.
Dime.
I saw how that works. I've gotten to go to the MTV Awards.
Dime.
I went to the the Blockbuster Awards that don't even have those anymore.
Blockbuster Awards?
Blockbuster Entertainment Awards back in the day. That's where I met Keanu Reeves.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So anyway, I've gotten to do a lot of fun things, and seeing those kind of award shows once, that's enough for me. It's pretty cool though to see the mechanics of it, right? What goes on during the commercial breaks and things like that. But anyway, that's what's going on. My cousins are here. I got them where they need to be. My roots are not silver anymore. My daughter's having fun. And what you were working on something in the garage when I left.
When she called and you were buck naked.
Yeah.
Did you have?
Is it buck or butt?
I don't know. I say both. But did you have your shower cap on?
No, I had done my roots. I had to shampoo the color out.
Blame it all on your roots.
Garth Brooks.
Yes. But you know what? We're not going to talk about Garth Brooks on this podcast. We got other stuff to talk about, babe. Got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Like what?
I've got a little bit of
what
stuff.
Could be more riveting than the story I just opened with?
That was kind of a Big Al story.
What? It's just what happened.
Just everyday life.
Just everyday
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it.
Did you?
Well, you give Big Al a hard time sometimes.
Right. Well, see, here's the difference with Big Al.
Yeah.
Big Al builds it up to be an exciting story.
Yeah,
he builds it up. I just tell my story and move on.
Yeah. Like he would have built that story up about his cousin like getting confused with the flights, and then he's in the shower. He'd have built that up like
for a week.
Oh,
he'd wait and say, "You have to come back next podcast to find out."
The next Black Planter, he's going to tell a big story.
There is no more Black Planter. That went away out.
I thought he was on the Black Planter.
He was the Black Planter, except he knew nothing about planting. But it is a funny name.
I was on the I was on an episode of the Black Planter.
Yeah, you taught him something.
He thought that there was an acorn tree.
He did.
I said, Al, that's called an oak.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, maybe I think last time we teased letters.
See, you're a big tease. You made him wait a whole week for that.
I did, but these are provided to us by our very, very best customers. And if you want to send us a letter, you can do so at podcast@kellyandalan.com. I don't think we have too many. What else we got? Oh, gosh, it was such a big golf weekend.
There was a lot of golf.
Oh my goodness. So
I might, next time you have a big golf weekend like that, I might just leave.
I wouldn't hear much, was I?
Well, no, I mean, it's like, I'm just like, I don't know. It's fine. I'm glad y'all are doing that. I'm really excited. Our son Dylan is just really just loving everything golf, and that's fun. But there's really nothing for me to do.
Well, you could come with us.
I did that the first tournament.
Yeah.
Showed support, but it's just a lot of walking.
Well, we're going to review maybe not every single detail, but there was a big moment.
It was,
and it caused me to almost have a heart attack. So we'll review that. I'm listening to I've mentioned this on the podcast just a few times. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, but the ones I do, I really enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm listening to one now, and it is really, really good. So I thought I would mention that and tell everybody what it's about and how I've enjoyed it.
Okay.
You got anything?
Well, yeah, I do, Alan.
What do you got?
Beyond the story I opened with, Alan doesn't like to talk about celebrity gossip and stuff.
Tidbit news?
No, it's not going to be tidbit news, but I know a lot of people, not necessarily my husband, have been keeping up with the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni,
I've been keeping up with that
drama
from a distance.
Right? Yeah. Well, Blake had her movie Another Simple Favor come out on Amazon Prime Video. And I'll be honest, I didn't really care for the first movie that much. It was okay. I really watched it because I thought the fashion would be really cool. I like Anna Kendrick. I like Blake Lively very much. And here's the thing: we interviewed Blake Lively on the Kid Craddock Morning Show
nationally
a few years ago. I want to say it was for that movie where she was trying to get past a shark. Wasn't that a movie like where she was stranded and had to swim past a shark to safety or something? That seems vaguely familiar. But she was so incredibly fun and funny and just delightful. And I liked her so much. And then here comes all this Justin Baldoni, drama. And, it hasn't played out in a courtroom, but in the court of public opinion, Blake Lively is losing this battle. At least, I think that's the majority of what people think. So it's kind of put a bad taste in my mouth about her projects. But Another Simple Favor was coming out. And I'm like, you know what? I'm home. Alan's out golfing and stuff like that.
I wasn't golfing. I was caddying.
Well, you were just doing golf stuff.
Oh, yeah. I was golfing.
That's what you're going to stop me down for?
Oh, sorry.
You were golfing on Saturday. You were in a scramble.
Yeah, I was.
Anyway, I said, I'm just going to watch it. And it's been so interesting because the press leading up to it, you could tell there's so much tension between Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. Like Blake is effusively, nervously laughing and talking nonstop. And Anna's just kind of cold and her body language is bad. And, I wonder if she
kind of like me right now.
Are you cold?
And my body language is bad.
Are you not interested?
No, I am. You always say I have bad body language.
Well,
I put my arm up, and you don't like that.
Well, when you cock back and act like you're not interested in what I'm saying. Anyway, I just there was a lot of tension, and I was wondering, is it because Anna and Blake don't get along? Or is it because Anna is frustrated that she's got to promote this movie and all people want to ask her about is the It Ends With Us drama? So what is it for real? So I decided to watch it, Alan.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to save my review, or do you want me to just go ahead and tell it? Are we going to tease it, or I'm going to tell it? Tease or tell?
You do what you feel is
appropriate.
You do what you feel is appropriate. What would be appropriate at this moment?
Well, make people stick around and hear the payoff.
Okay,
well, do some letters, and I'll tell you.
Well, you're gonna have to stick around.
I'll tell you my review of Another Simple Favor. Look at me being a tease.
You're gonna have to stick around if you want that payoff. Yeah. Well, okay. Why don't we just get into the meat of the subject here, and that's letters. We haven't done letters in a while. Let's see what we got here. Okay, how about this first letter is from Kendra. Subject, Alan, pick me.
Oh, she's such a pick-me girl.
Hi, Alan and Kellie. I know you enjoy your name first, Alan. I just wanted to write.
It's an ego thing.
I just wanted to write and say how much I love you too. I'm excited to write this letter. And I would be even more excited if you read it on the show. I've been listening to your podcast for a couple of years, and I've been listening to Kellie on the Kid Craddock Morning Show.
Nationally syndicated.
For about 16 years.
Wow, that's about half as long as I've been there.
About since 1946.
No, that's not the right math.
You both make me smile every time I listen to the pod. I used to work full-time, but after my youngest son was born 2 years ago, I left my corporate job. Both of my boys are special needs. My oldest has autism, and my youngest has Down syndrome. I needed to stop working full-time so I could take them to all the therapies and doctor's appointments.
That's a full plate.
Yeah, and to spend more time with them. I do still work part-time. I have my own little house cleaning biz, and I listen to y'all while I'm cleaning.
Aww.
Y'all definitely help me pass the time and make me laugh in each episode. In a world that is sometimes dark, I think it's important to lift people up with a compliment or let them know they are special, and I hope this letter does that for you. I truly enjoy and look forward to listening every week. Well, enough of this, all this sappy stuff.
That's
Yogurt.
Sweet. That's very sweet.
Love, Kendra from Evansville, Indiana. And
That's very sweet.
P.S. I've included a couple of photos of my family and my amazing little boys. Look how cute everybody is. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful photo?
Oh, that's wonderful.
Isn't that
what a
awesome?
Beautiful family. Kendra, that was very, very sweet. You got a handsome husband, too.
What about chopped liver?
Why can't I say someone else is handsome?
He's a handsome. My man.
Yeah.
My man. Man is handsome.
Adorable boy.
She didn't mention her husband's name. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay, Kendra.
We'll
Thank you.
Call him Stud Muffin.
That's right. Thank you for the letter, Kendra.
Thank you, Kendra. That's very sweet.
Very nice. This next letter is from Jason. Subject, shout out. This is a little old, and I think I might have missed the boat. I might have dropped the ball.
How badly?
What's today? May the 7th?
Recording it, yeah.
Over a month.
What's the problem? What do they want us to do?
Hey, Kelly and Alan.
Hey.
Today, April 2nd, is me and my wife's 3rd wedding anniversary.
Ooh, that is a little late.
I was wondering if you guys could give her a shout out.
Oh, well.
We also like to use a few phrases on each other that Alan says. So, Alan, if you could tell her that I am being maligned, I'm being misrepresented, I'm being painted in a poor light. Her name is Brenna. Thank you for reading my letter and putting up with my buffoonery. Thanks, Jason.
Well, sometimes you should be maligned and what is the word I'm looking for?
Misrepresented?
No, you're not being misrepresented because you did drop the ball. Their anniversary was over a month ago.
Yeah, Jason, my man, I'm sorry about that. Better late than never.
True.
Yeah. He's probably thinking, God, what a rickhead. I sent him a letter a month ago and he couldn't even get back.
April 3rd, that's Amy and Russ's anniversary too.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Our friends Amy and Russ.
I'm sorry about that, Jason.
Well,
yeah.
Happy anniversary a little bit late.
Yeah. And Brenna, I'm sure you do misrepresent poor Jason. I am sure he is maligned, and I'm sure he is always being painted in a poor light, as most of us men are.
That's how the happy marriages go.
Frequently.
That's how you stay married for the long haul.
That's right.
Keep the men in their place.
Oh, I know why we're building up to this, because I was teasing. I had an update on the knitting circle. We're going to do that one last. Okay, we only have 4 letters. Here's our 3rd
Well,
letter.
you better spread them out then.
Our next letter is from Katie. Subject, sleep apnea dentist. Hello, Alan and Kelly. May I please get the name of the provider that Alan saw for a mouth guard for sleep apnea? I live in the area, and I remember Alan speaking highly of them. Thank you, Katie. Katie, my dentist who made me the mouthpiece, her name is Dr. Suzanne Tai, Thai, and she's a dentist, but she now specializes. Really, she's spending most of her time with sleep apnea patients. So this is what she does. She also gives lectures and speaks at universities about sleep apnea. I mean, she is a really highly regarded doctor in that space. So go see her if you're having a sleep apnea issue. She has an office in Corinth, Texas, which is just north of Louisville. And
on the way to Denton?
Yes, on the way to Denton. And she just opened an office right over here by us in Plano. I went to her grand opening about 2 months ago.
Yeah, I would have gone. I was out of town.
Yeah. So yeah,
She's
Dr.
great.
Suzanne Tai.
And I can't tell you how many DMs I've gotten about people asking about that foot doctor, the one that kept me from getting surgery that would have probably destroyed my feet and left me with a heaping mess of pain, Dr. Justin Kane. So if anybody's listening, you're like, oh, I've been meaning to ask Kelly about that. It's Dr. Justin Kane, Kane, and he operates out of Frisco, Texas. But he said he avoids operating at all costs. He usually just operates fixing somebody else's screw up on a foot surgery. We are happy to recommend doctors that work for us.
Yes.
We're not getting paid. We just believe in what they do.
Yeah, Dr. Ty made me a mouthpiece, and Kelly reminds me every night to put it in. I'm glad she does, because if I don't wear it, she doesn't sleep well, but I don't sleep worth a darn.
Why do you always make me feel bad when I remind you? What do? I say, let's reenact it.
Okay.
Alan very rarely goes to bed before me, but lately he has been. I'll say, honey, did you put in your mouthpiece?
I will do it in a minute.
Huh? This is not the true representation. You know what he does to me?
I don't know what I do.
This is what he does to me, and it drives me nuts.
What do I do?
Okay, I'll be me and Alan.
Okay.
Alan, did you put in your mouthpiece? Psh.
Oh, yeah.
Honey, don't shush. Psh. Don't shush. Psh. Did you put it in your mouth?
www.sh.com.
I hate when you
.edu.gov.
And then you'll say, yeah, I'm about to put it in. And then the next thing I know, I was like, Alan, you put in your I'm going to. Why don't you just put it in I'll put in my night guard before I get in bed. Why don't you just put it in?
Thank you. I don't know. I get
asked, why do you shush me?
I don't know. I get asked that a lot. Why don't you just put it in? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the mouthpiece works very well. I had speaking of dental, this might be a Big Al story. I don't know if this is going to add
pointless.
Yeah. I don't know if this is going to
go for it, babe.
I don't know if this is going to add any value to the podcast, but I had a dental cleaning a few days ago. As always, impeccable record. Dr. Pincus came in and said, you know what, Alan? You're just one of my best patients.
Yeah. He wishes everyone would be like you.
You've never had any dental work your entire life. I've never had a cavity, never had a filling, knock on wood. So yeah, I had a really good report there, but he asked me, he said, have you been wearing your mouthpiece at night? And I said, yeah, but I do my best to wear it at night. And we got to talking about sleep apnea. And he told me, and I think I might have, I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast, but I know I've told you. He said the reason I have sleep apnea in my personal case, and this may be for some of our listeners, I don't know. I think there's a misconception that you have to be a very heavy person to have sleep apnea. That's not true, because in my case, when I had braces when I was a kid in the 80s, they did things differently than I think they do now. Like, for example, he said, what they did in your case is just pull a bunch of teeth to create space. Instead of using spacers to create space. So he said they pulled all 4 of your premolars and then they got rid of your wisdom teeth. So you had 8 teeth pulled, but they never changed the size of your palate. So you have big teeth, and because they didn't do that, you have a narrow palate, which causes your like windpipe area to be restricted. So when you get into a certain position at night, that's what causes the severe sleep apnea. He said it's related to your orthodontia that you had when you were a kid.
How about that?
I was like, wow. Well,
the more you know.
No going back on that.
No.
I'm glad I had braces because I had a grill that, I could eat a corn cob through a picket fence.
Really?
Yes.
I want to see those pictures.
That'd be hard to produce a picture of me pre-braces when I was a kid, but I don't know if I could find any of those. Anyway, I just thought that was somewhat interesting that braces, in my case, caused the way they pulled the teeth caused the
pulling thing,
the sleep apnea.
Yeah.
So there you go, babe.
There you go.
And before we met, I tried everything.
Well, when I met you, you tried putting those metal rods in your palate or something.
Plastic rods,
yeah.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Horrible.
It was very horrible.
All right. Do you want me to do this and then you read the last letter?
Oh, yeah, sure.
And then I'll do my movie review.
Sure.
It's the same thing every new year. We all do it. We promise we're going to eat better. We're going to work out. We're going to work on building muscle and getting flexible and all those great intentions. But that stuff tastes really good. And it's hard to be motivated on your own without having a partner, someone to not only encourage you, but hold you accountable. And that's why we are so pumped to be partnering with Faye. Faye is this genius revolutionary platform that connects you with your very own personal registered dietitian. Have you not always wanted one?
I've always wanted one.
I know you have, but what's the first thing you think? Super expensive, right? Super expensive.
Can't afford it.
Only rich people, only celebrities can afford them. But to have someone that breaks down all the confusion over carbs and macro or micro whatevers and come up with a personalized plan just for you, but how are you going to pay for it? This is why we love Faye, because all the dietitians on Faye accept insurance, and they have over 700 insurance plans they accept. So you'll likely pay $0 out of pocket. That's incredible. So whether you're trying to lose weight, manage a health condition, or just make peace with your pantry, Faye's got a dietitian that fits you, and it works. 93% of Faye clients reported an improved relationship with food. 85% reached their target weight. A third-party study showed clients lost 2.9 times more weight working with a dietitian through FAY compared to other comparable weight loss programs. So what you do is you go to the website, you enter your zip code, whatever specialty you're looking for. They specialize in over 30 areas. So whether you're looking for someone who works with diabetes, food allergies, eating disorders, high blood pressure, IBS, you get the picture. Your dietitian will build a plan just for you, and they factor in your schedule, your cravings, your deep, meaningful relationship with cheese, and you can meet virtually or in person, whatever you prefer.
Having a personalized nutritionist used to cost big bucks, but not anymore with FAY. Listeners of A Sandwich and Some Lovin' can qualify to see a registered dietitian for as little as $0 by visiting faynutrition.com/sandwich. That's faynutrition.com/sandwich. One last time, faynutrition.com/sandwich, and make sure that URL, you use that URL so they know we sent you. We love Fay Nutrition. Okay, babe, last letter. This last letter is from Jessica. Subject, knitting circle. Hi, Alan and Kelly.
Hi.
Alan, I heard you talking about a knitting circle on the episode A Sandwich and Some Memory Lane. If it was the Starbucks in Frisco by Panther Creek and Dallas Parkway, that's the knitting and crochet group I attend.
Is it the same one, Alan?
It's the same one.
How about that?
We are a very, very friendly group of ladies. And yes, smiley face. And yes, we still meet at Starbucks every Sunday, actually. If I ever ran into you and Kelly out in public, I would be so happy. Kelly, I grew up listening to you on the radio, and my mom and I love to listen to Love Letters to Kelly podcast together. You two make me smile and laugh so much. Thank you for always brightening my day, Jessica. So I emailed Jessica back. We had a little correspondence. I said, no way. What a small world. Thank you for listening. Tell us more about your knitting circle. That's amazing. Alan. OMG, you replied. The knitting circle or the knitting group. Chicks with sticks.
Why'd you change your voice? Why'd you change your voice? That was totally not necessary.
The knitting group,
Chicks with Sticks,
has been around for several years, but I've only been going to it for about a year so far. I'm the youngest in the group, 25, and I love being able to crochet with people who have so much knowledge. Most of the women knit, but there are still several crocheters and even some cross stitchers.
I used to cross stitch when I was in junior high and high school. I used to cross stitch.
My mom did crochet and needlepoint.
I used to do a thing called candle wicking. I think it was called. Is that the needlepoint? Was it called candle wicking?
Wicking.
It was something wicking.
Candle wicking.
Maybe just called wicking.
Some people can even knit and crochet. We call that.
Yeah, change your voice again.
Bistitchual.
That's pretty funny. Bistitchual.
That's
pretty good.
That's
pretty
good.
clever.
That is very clever. You know, the knitting group has some good bits already. I love it. Chicks with sticks and bistitchual. They're able to teach me stuff, and I'm able to teach them some new stuff as well. The group meets 3 times a week, Sunday afternoon at Starbs, Wednesday afternoon at Starbs. That's when I've seen them, on the Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
And Thursday night at various dinner locations.
But she can only go on the Sunday one now? Is that what she's saying?
Yes. The group outings have had to be limited to 10 people max because it got to be too big of a crowd.
Yeah.
So there's an RSVP section on the Meetup app that we use. Wow, this is sophisticated.
You know, I think it's great. And, you know, a lot of young girls are starting to crochet again. Our nieces, I keep forgetting we got married. So they're my nieces too. They just started crocheting, and it's really beautiful because you don't want those arts to go away.
I'm so thankful for all the ladies in the group. They make me so welcomed, and I've really gotten to build friendships with them. Jessica.
That's great, Jessica.
I said, that's awesome. Do you mind if I share what you told me about the knitting circle? People are really interested since I brought it up the first time. I would have been over there on a Wednesday afternoon, most likely. Again, thanks for listening. She goes, yeah, for sure. Go ahead and share. I can't go on Wednesdays because I work. I'm there on Sundays. We skipped next Sunday because it's Easter, but we'll be back at that Starbucks on Sunday, April 27th.
She wrote this a while ago.
It's a little while ago. But I hope you and Kelly have a blessed Easter, Jessica.
I
Very
wonder if
nice.
They're going to skip this Sunday because it's
Mother's Day.
That's right. I set you up for that one, honey.
Don't forget your mama.
Don't forget your mama. I was telling somebody today that it was Mother's Day Sunday, and they were shocked. They couldn't believe it. But it's always the second Sunday in May 9th this year. So don't forget your mother.
No.
I still don't know what we're doing for your mother yet. We're still waiting for that. Now, my mother and my sister-in-law reached out to me and my mama on our Mondays with Mama and said, what are we doing for Mother's Day? And we're like, oh, we need to do something. So Mama has this big ham that you got to eat a little bit of. And I've got to bring my mama's macaroni and cheese. I'm going to make that. And my sister-in-law's bringing her delicious broccoli salad. She's so good at that. And some dessert. And then Mama said, well, we need another vegetable. And I said, how about some butter beans? So she's going to make butter beans. I'm so excited. You don't like butter beans?
I'll pass on the butter beans.
You haven't had good butter beans then. My mother's going to make butter beans. She's probably going to use some of that ham. Oh, I'm so excited about
the along with the...
And if she'd make rutabagas, I'd be on cloud 9. I love rutabagas.
Four of the most lewd stories I've ever heard are, hey, guys, look at this. Hello, hand. Mama Yoti. And then the butterbean story.
You can never tell the butterbean story.
I can't tell the butterbean story.
It's rude and inappropriate, and I hope you never share it. If someone asks you about it, I hope you will not share it because it's rude.
It has to do with a celebrity as well.
I don't believe it. I believe it's a lie, and I think you're perpetuating a lie.
It's not a lie.
Well, I wouldn't tell it. It's not a good story.
Okay.
But I will tell you my review of Another Simple Favor.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Let's hear it.
Okay, listen. The first one, if you want to go back and watch it, you can. But Blake Lively's character plays this like really sassy, foul-mouthed, fantastic dresser. And Anna Kendrick plays this mom that's trying to do a mommy blog. And it's been so long since I saw the original. That's basically what I remember. But she's just fascinated and intrigued by Blake Lively's character. And Blake's character asks Anna, I'm just going to use their names, Blake and Anna, because I can't remember their characters' names. Blake asks Anna, I need a simple favor. And I don't remember what the favor was. But I remember it ends up where Anna sleeps with Blake's husband because Blake disappears, goes into hiding. Turns out Blake was a twin. And if I'm ruining this for you, this movie is very old and I'm sorry. But Blake ended up killing her identical twin. It was a big mess. And I remember it was just, I liked it okay. So they're coming back out with Another Simple Favor. And I'm not going to ruin it for you in case you have not seen it. I will say this. I feel like I liked it a little bit better than the original. And I think there could be a couple of reasons for that. The first one I saw in a big movie theater. And when you go to a movie theater, I think you have bigger expectations for what you're going to see. When you're sitting at home streaming something, you can pause it when it gets a little bit, there were some anxious moments. I love Henry Golding. He's back. He's the husband from the first movie. He is back and he's just dreamy. And there's some things that happened that I had to put it on pause and walk away for a minute, get some water, calm down. Alan would tell you I'm the worst person in the world to watch a movie with, especially if there's a lot of tension and anxiety. It drives me nuts and it drives him nuts. But I could do that. I could put it on pause, come back, pick it up. If there was a scene that I thought was going to be really bad, I could kind of fast forward and look at it sideways and kind of watch it frame by frame. I'm like, okay, this person's going to die. Okay, I see that they're dead. Now I can go back and watch how they died. It's horrible. I'm horrible. That's why I didn't ask Alan to watch it with me. So there are some intense moments. There's some huge surprises. But I will tell you this. When Anna from the Kid Craddock Morning Show found out I was going to watch it, she said, I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance for what Blake does. And I'm like, sort of intrigued by that. But why would she need to apologize for it, right? Well, then I said, go ahead and spoil it for me. Go ahead and tell me I'm good with having something spoiled for me if it's going to really get me upset. So if you don't want to hear this part, hit that little button that fast forwards on your podcast for about 30 seconds.
Okay.
And, that's what I want you to do right now. There are some incest scenes.
Ew.
By rape.
Oh, Gosh, babe, why are we talking about this?
I'm telling you, but that's what I'm telling you. So I don't think that was necessary. It still bothers me that they made this part of the storyline. And it's like that White Lotus series. They also had an incest storyline with the brothers. And I didn't watch it. I was like, I don't want to see brothers making out. And I don't want to see sisters doing that either. So I don't know why this sudden incest thing is happening in the movies, but it's not cool. So there you have it. Like I'm saying, I think I enjoyed the movie better than the first one, except for that part that I just can't, that ick stays with me. It's icky. So there's my review of Another Simple Favor.
Well, we went over, I don't know what we're at, 550 something episodes before we said the word incest on the podcast. So hopefully we're not flagged for that.
Why would we be flagged for that?
Well, I don't know. It's just kind of a...
Should we bleep that word I said?
I don't know.
I think the R word, maybe we should bleep. I'll ask about that. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But I think people...
I thought this was a lighthearted, fun podcast.
It is, but sometimes we have to talk about dark subjects.
Speaking of, I'm going to do another segment, try to get this thing back on the tracks here, called What is Alan Watching and Listening to? This is a new segment.
It's not going to be Another Simple Favor.
No, I'm not watching that kind of stuff. No, I'm not. I'm not interested in that. The first thing I will highly recommend is a podcast, and I've mentioned this before, called Business Wars.
Oh, yeah. You were telling me about that.
Oh, babe.
But it's been around for a long time.
It's been around a long time, but
they cover different business wars.
Yeah, there's Blockbuster versus Netflix.
That's probably the most famous one they started with, right?
Yeah, there's HBO versus Cinemax. There's Starbucks versus Dunkin' Donuts, Nike versus Reebok, blah, blah, blah. And they go into, it's like a case study, but if you're interested in business at all, or just, I mean, some of these are pop culture icons when it comes to these companies. It's very, very interesting. Well, I stumbled upon season 105 of Business Wars, What Killed Red Lobster. And it's only 3 episodes. All 3 of them are about 45 minutes. It's very quick, very easy to listen to. And I learned so much. I thought the endless shrimp was the reason Red Lobster went under.
I think a lot of people were under that impression.
Yeah, it was one of the contributing factors.
But not the.
But if you know the history of Red Lobster, how it came to be, how they redesigned the restaurant, some of the management that came in and left, what they did with their real estate. It's fascinating.
Well, at one point,
absolutely fascinating.
At one point, maybe they cover it in the Business Wars podcast, but Red Lobster used to be considered fine dining.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think they tried to make it more mainstream. And sometimes, like when we went for Valentine's Day, and some people came to Red Lobster and they were dressed like they were going to a 5-star restaurant, because I think for a lot of people, it still holds that special place for nostalgia reasons or whatever.
Well, especially this is one thing they talk about in Middle America in the 80s, in the 90s. In the big city, we're in Dallas-Fort Worth. We have access to a lot of restaurants.
We do.
But if you're like me, if you're like Kelly, I grew up in Wichita Falls, Texas. Okay. There weren't a lot of restaurants. So Red Lobster was the restaurant we had in town. There was a Red Lobster, there was a Steak and Ale, and those were the nicer restaurants.
We didn't have one for the longest time in Florence. So whenever we would go to Columbia, the big city, the capital of South Carolina, we would go to Red Lobster because it was such a special big deal. And when it finally did open in Florence, there was a wait. You had to wait like 3 weeks to get a table at Red Lobster. Mm-hmm. It was a very, very big deal. And I remember when I moved to Atlanta for a little while, and my friend Sandra lived there, and her mother came from Florence to visit in Atlanta. And again, didn't have a Red Lobster in Florence at that point. And her mother was so excited that Sandra was going to take her to Red Lobster. And she came down dressed up I mean, like fancy pearls, everything. Cause she's like, we're going to Red Lobster. It's a big deal. And Sandra was embarrassed. I was like, but that's real. I mean, that's for a lot of people. That is such a huge deal. So it is disappointing when you go now. Typically, our experience is not great. Typically. Would you agree?
It's not like it used to be.
It's not like it used to be. It's just if the people at Red Lobster are treating it like a special experience for us, then it's not special for anybody.
Well, they talk about a lot about how it's changed over the years, and it is fascinating.
The philosophy has changed.
Yeah, it is really fascinating. I thought it was very interesting, and again, like every time I talk about Red Lobster, it's kind of like nostalgic, and they address this. They're like, Red Lobster isn't the best seafood in the world, but people have such great memories of it when they grew up. If you grew up with a place and you have good memories of it, generally you'll go back, even if the food isn't the best, because it's the memories and the nostalgia and the feeling that you get. That's what people miss.
Yeah.
They also talked about the resurgence of the chain. So there was I guess these people are really in the restaurant industry and study it and all this, but they were saying there's a time when the millennials, they were so anti-chain. So they were going to places that were independent, that, smaller portions, but
craft beers,
exactly,
IPAs,
exactly.
And lots of Brussels sprouts and kale chips.
Brussels sprouts with vinaigrette and blistered shishito peppers. And then your bill is like $200.
Yeah.
But they said now that the millennials have gotten a little bit older, they're looking around and they're like, well, that's not a good value. And the chains like Chili's, Applebee's, Olive Garden, I mean, they've made a big comeback. And a lot of it's because people now want a lot of value from their money.
Yeah.
So the chains are doing very well now. They're going through a kind of
a resurgence,
a renaissance, or a resurgence.
Renaissance.
So anyway, Business Wars, check it out. That was a lot of fun to listen to. And there are a lot of other great case studies there. I watched the other day, I just wanted to watch a documentary, and I wasn't really picking this out, but it looked interesting. The trailer looked interesting. You've seen the movie Black Hawk Down?
I have not.
Have you not?
No.
Okay. I saw the movie Black Hawk Down when it came out. I thought it was a good movie, but it was very Hollywood.
Based on a true story.
Based on a true story. It's very Hollywood. Just real quick, in the early 90s, the United States sent the army into Mogadishu, Somalia, to try to kill these warlords that were causing a lot of problems in Somalia. I mean, that's basically what we were trying to do. A couple of helicopters crashed, and it was really bad from there. That was the premise of Black Hawk Down. Well, I was on Netflix, and there was a documentary called Surviving Black Hawk Down. And I'm like, that looks interesting. So I watched the preview, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to watch it. It's only 3 episodes. Each one is only 50 minutes long. Again, but I texted Kellie after I got done, and I said, babe, this is the most harrowing, scary.
I can't watch it.
It just charged my chest as I'm watching this. Like,
that's how I feel when I watch every movie, Alan.
I cannot believe these men that went in there and did this. And I think 18 service members died, but they interviewed Army Rangers that survived. They interviewed Army Delta Force that survived. They also interviewed the Somalis. So you got to hear from them, like their perspective about what was going on. And
it was probably completely different.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was totally opposite. So if you're looking for something that's real and you want to see something that will, and I told Kellie this, like,
disturb you.
I have an appreciation for our military. My dad is a veteran. I have a lot of friends that are vets. But if you didn't have an appreciation before, watch this, okay? Because it is the craziest thing you've ever seen. What they had to do, like what they were asked to do, and they went in there and did it. And then some of them came back and some of them didn't. Yeah. My jaw hit the floor. And I'm pretty I've seen a lot of stuff on TV, and I feel like, wow, I'm kind of jaded like that. But I watched this one and I'm like, my heart was pounding, my eyes are like watery. I'm like,
Well,
This is crazy.
And we already support our military anyway, but now you even appreciate them maybe even more, like you said, which is a great segue for us to remind everybody about the big Operation Once in a Lifetime Rock for the Troops event, Saturday, May 8th. It's coming up at Armor Brewing Company in Allen, Texas. It's this weekend. So if you're listening to the podcast after May 8th, it's too late. We'd love it if you're hearing this in time that you can join us. Alan and I will be there. A lot of our podcasting will be there, I hope, to raise money for this great organization. Sergeant Patrick Sowers started this, I don't even know how many years ago, to grant wishes for members of the military. But it's more than just that. We think of, he takes the children of people who are serving overseas to see Taylor Swift and things like that. But he also does like adaptive housing for, members of the military that come back and they need special, ramps and showers and countertops, things that we don't think of when they come home. The way I met him was when he was doing a bedding drive, because our members of the military come back from serving overseas or wherever. They come to our barracks and the military doesn't provide them with bedding. Isn't that crazy? That was shock. Now, hopefully that's changed since he did that bedding drive. I don't know for sure. But when I first met him, he was collecting pillows, sheets, and blankets for the people who are defending our country because our military didn't provide them, which just my mouth still drops thinking of that. So anyway, we love this organization, Operation Once in a Lifetime. The best place to keep up with them is on Facebook. But hopefully we'll see some of y'all this Saturday.
One of the examples I always give when people ask me, like, what does Patrick do? He does all those things that Kellie mentioned. He also does things that a lot of people don't see. I remember Patrick and I went on a hunting trip one time, and we were driving back in his truck, and he got a phone call, and he had it on speaker, and it was a woman whose husband was in the Marines. I believe he had just returned from being deployed somewhere. Well, he had committed suicide, like literally the day before this phone call. And she was given his name as somebody who might be able to help with getting together a military funeral. She didn't know the first thing to do. Like, I don't know what do I do? Like, where do I go? I want this to, I need an American flag. I just have no idea what to do.
She's in shock.
And she's in shock, And I remember him talking to this woman, and I'm like, man, this is.
And you got to hear it firsthand.
This is tough. But he did help her, and he offers. He's also part grief counselor too. Yeah, he does a lot of that as well.
Yeah.
So we love Operation Once in a Lifetime and what Patrick does for sure.
If you can't go, please consider donating to them. Again, happy Mother's Day to everyone this weekend. I hope you have a wonderful time. Hopefully you're able to celebrate with your mom. If she's passed on, that's a sad day for you, but hopefully you have a wonderful way to remember her and honor her memory. We'll tell you what we do. We're not really 100% sure what we're doing, but we'll tell you next podcast.
Real quick, and then we're going to bring it home for Jerome. So I am in first place in the Inked Mag tattoo contest.
Oh, I shared that. Yeah, I shared it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm promoting it every day because there's only like 10 days to vote. So
remind me and I'll do it again.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've entered a contest put on by Inked Magazine, and it's for charity. Like you can give me one free vote, but if you want to vote more than one time, it's like $1 a vote or whatever. So they're collecting money for a children's cancer organization. So that's really nice. And then the winner of this contest wins $25,000 and appears in Inked Magazine, goes to New York, and all this other stuff too. So
and you get tattooed by
Bang Bang. But I am currently in first place. It says in their group. I don't know what that means. I wonder if they have these by age or something.
Or back tattoos.
You know what?
Back pieces.
I bet it's style.
Possibly.
I bet you anything it's style. Like mine's American Japanese traditional.
Oh.
I'll bet you they're grouping them by style.
Okay.
That's just my guess.
Because they might have like a tramp stamp category, or a drunken dolphin on the ankle category. Those are the ones you get when you go with your girlfriend's drunk, just pick something off the wall.
Not judging anybody with the tramp stamp.
No, they have various categories.
I mean, you want to show me your tramp stamp? I say go for it. So go to inkmag.com and they'll have some banners and such. If you don't see it there, look at my social media. I'll be sharing this like every day.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I was going to look it up real quick, but I'll wait till after the podcast stops.
Yeah. So anyway, doing well there. I'm very
awesome.
And thank you if you donated or
you can vote. You can vote for free every day, but you
can vote for free every day.
Add votes with a donation.
Yeah, but you can only vote once every 24 hours.
Yeah.
All right, then. Got anything else?
No, I've talked enough. And I got to go tell the lady editing our podcast to put a beep in there.
Yeah, maybe we should just ask.
I would prefer it be beeped. That was a harsh word. It was a shocking word, but I think you should be warned about that stuff.
I thought chicks with sticks was also very shocking.
No.
What about bisexuals?
No.
Okay. All right, babe. Well, I love you desperately.
I love you.
I love needlepoint desperately.
I know you do. You love needlepointers.
I love the Business Wars podcast desperately. I love our military desperately. You know what I love very, very desperately is my mom.
That's right.
And all you moms out there, if it weren't for you,
wouldn't
be running around right now. But I am sure we will podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich. Bye. All right, man. No, there's not a lewd category for me. I don't have any lewd tattoos. I've got Bible passages, for goodness sakes. Thank you, Jen. Love you desperately.
Man, you gulp.
Yeah. You know, that Coke Zero orange cream is good.
You getting tired of it?
No. I really like it, but there's something in this where I guess it's the sodium. I don't know. The more you drink, the more you want more. And I have had so many caffeine headaches because I'm drinking like 4 of these a day.
You're addicted now.
This can't be good for you. It's got to have something in it that. I don't know. It's just got all the normal stuff. It's like the or something. It's like you drink it and it doesn't quench your thirst. It makes you thirstier. And like you keep drinking it and you're like, I need another one. You know?
I hear you.
I don't know. Yeah, Jen. Yeah. Soft drinks do have a lot of acid. You know, usually I don't. I mean, I have one a day, but these things, and I'm drinking a lot of these a day. I gotta. Oh, Michael said he gave you a rough timestamp.
Oh, thank you, Michael.
You saying?
Yeah, I think it was around 33. You said 32, and I said I thought it was around 33.
Wheels off words. Yeah, it is yummy.
Oh, he said he's coming Saturday.
Who?
Michael.
Oh. All right. What's Saturday?
Operation Once in a Lifetime.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that Saturday night. All right, guys. What'd I miss? Anything? Thank you, Darla. One of our very, very best customers. Oh, Wheeze. Hashtag where's Wheezy. Hashtag who's Wheezy. Hello, Sarah. Had some people come in a little later. It's fine. Glad you're here. Ailment. Thank you, Amy. Amy, one of our longest, oldest supporters. She's been with us the longest. She's been around the longest as a supporter. Let's see. Jana said her son, only child, graduates high school 1 week from today, and she just got done with another crying session. It's not good. All right, guys. Oh, yeah. I forgot about Hashimoto's. Hashimoto's is another one of your ailments.
It is.
They're saying I have Hashimoto's.
I guess it's contagious.
My man. Where you been? My man Luke from Montana. My dude, where have you been? I hadn't seen you here in a while. Hadn't heard from you. Nothing. You and Tony, you guys just, it's like once every 6 months, but that's okay. You do come back, just not very often. I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm sure things have been busy. I know you are. It's good to see you, man. How are things up in Montana? Man, I'd like to get up there. I want to go to that big national park up there. Is it Glacier? Yes, he couldn't stand me at first, Amy. Yes, that's true. But once he experienced the real me, we became friends. So you can put an egg in your shoe and beat it. Oh man. Fishing season's getting started. That sounds good. The only fly fishing I've done is fake fly fishing. Did you see me in those Can-Am ads? Did you see me cast that fly rod? There was a guy there, the producer of the commercial. He said, "Have you ever cast a fly rod?" I said, "No, I got a buddy in Montana who wants to show me." But so he showed me how to at least look like I was doing it the right way. By about the 100th cast, I felt pretty good. Yeah, and I didn't get tangled up too much. It was actually pretty good. It was they had like an Orvis reel and rod. I don't know if that's any good, but it felt pretty good. They had all these kind of wheels off flies. They didn't look like very good flies, but they put something relatively heavy on there so I could cast it okay. Yeah. Oh gosh, we didn't talk about Dylan.
Ah!
Dang it. We'll do that next time. I posted it on my social media.
Yeah, but we still teased it.
We
need to write that stuff down.
I did. Right there. Golf.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Golf, letters, business wars, right there. Yeah, I know. I have Hashimoto's. All right, guys. You guys have a good rest of the week. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
For those of you that might not have a mother, we are thinking about you. All holidays are tough for a lot of people, so. But have a good one, and we will see you soon. Probably on the social media.